Hello, everyone. My name is Greenie, and welcome to the Talk To podcast. I think I pronounced that right. That's the name of it, right?
I think so.
I I don't know.
I honestly forgot. Yeah, Talk To. Okay,
Yeah.
let's not forget about that. I'm your
Good
host.
start, guys.
I will be your host today. My name is Greenie, or Green Game Greenie, or Green Boy, or whatever you want to call me. And today I'm joined with Snipes, CG Snipes, Steve Shives, what do you want to call him? Say hi.
Hello, guys.
And everyone's favorite post space.
Fuck off.
Hey.
No post-it notes, please.
Yeah. All right.
We'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm tempted to change my name just because of this.
Yeah, well, if you couldn't see by the title, today we're going to be talking about Shane Dawson's The Mind of Jake Paul series. That was pretty recent, so you guys have watched half of it. I've watched the whole thing. We're still going to take your opinions about it. So, let's just go over what The Mind of Jake Paul was. The Mind of Jake Paul is basically the series that Shane Dawson, pretty big YouTuber, been around the whole YouTube thing for quite a while now. I think like 10 years at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sounds about right.
All right. Yeah, so he's been around for a while. He decided to kind of do this whole thing with Jake Paul. Everyone knows who Jake Paul is, right? Raise your hand if you do. Come on.
Well, you won't be able to see it, but I'm raising my hand.
I'm sure the audience will, so don't worry about it. Yeah, so he just did the series about the mind of Jake Paul because he's been pretty controversial over like the last year and a half now, probably edging up to 2 years at this point. And yeah, I'd say it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And yeah, everyone's kind of like turning their sort of mind, kind of shifting their mind towards, hey, maybe this guy isn't so bad as we think he is, but enough about that. Quick thing, if you haven't seen the series yet, make sure you go check it out. Otherwise, you will hear some spoilers. This definitely contains spoilers to the series. So, there's your warning. Alright, let's get into this. That was awkward.
Yeah, let's get into this.
So, the series was arranged into 8 parts. The first 4 including sort of like a research phase or clearing up a few things, and the last 4 parts including Jake Paul. Actually, he's in the last 4 parts. That's great. It was kind of like a bad move to kind of include him at the very end, but oh well.
Yeah.
So, let's start with the first episode, The Mind of Jake Paul. Obviously, it'd be called the series. So, this is kind of like the research phase. It was when Shane was talking with iNabber, another YouTuber, about all the sort of controversies that he's been in, including like is Team 10 a real or fake thing? Like, what do you guys make of that?
The whole background of Team 10 is kind of iffy. I mean, a lot of speculation has gone around of people saying, oh, well, they're probably paid for that. They're probably like, just like old friends, or they're probably just there for popularity. It's completely unknown and weird as well. I don't really have much to say on Team 10, but still, they're kind of messed up if you think about it.
Yeah, a bit.
The same thing goes for me because it's hard to tell if it actually is a thing. It could possibly be a thing, seeing how you and I are all partners, where we fall under our own flag.
Well, yeah, though. But think about it this way: for Team 10, the first Team 10 house was rented for $17,000. Like, what was it, a month, a week, or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, where is he getting the money for that?
They explained it was from like investors. Yeah. Or whatnot.
Yeah, but who would invest in him though? I mean, that's the crazy part.
Well,
if you think about it, because he got so much hate. There's a lot of videos on his channel of like him.
The thing about Jake
crazy.
Paul, he got most of his fame starting off on Vine with his brother Logan Paul. It was kind of like a competition to see who can get the most followers, and that's where most investors kind of saw potential in him to kind of make this sort of big investment of let's get him a house, set up the business. Hire Nick Crompton to kind of manage everything. Yeah. So there's that. Including that, like fake cast members are fake couples as well. Is like Jake and Erica Costello. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
I would say it's a real thing. Like a lot of people speculated to be fake. Like she's just cast to be his girlfriend, but that seems kind of messed up.
Yeah, I mean, though in the first video for the research, they state how his ex-girlfriend is there and his current girlfriend. So, number one, that's weird off the bat because first, why would you invite your ex-girlfriend?
Well, keep in mind, Jake and Erica weren't dating at the time. She was like an assistant or whatever, I think.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it's still pretty weird.
Yeah, so why invite your ex-girlfriend to, live in the same house?
Well, I think they were still like off and on dating at that time. Like as soon as like they broke up, Jake kicked her out of the house.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. It was like I forget how long it was, but he claimed that she was cheating on him.
Even though he was the one cheating on her.
Yeah, for sure. And that was definitely explained like later on. And that kind of led on to the assault situation, the accusation against FaZe Banks. Like people speculate it was because FaZe was actually dating Alyssa Violet at that time, and Jake was kind of trying to tarnish FaZe Banks' name based on a coincidence, a situation where his assistant Megan Zelly claimed that she was assaulted by FaZe Banks, and he kind of just jumped onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, including other things like the public opinion on Jake Paul. The media kind of makes him out to be this horrible person based on like things neighbors say. Like the neighbors have it hard.
They've had cops. Like I'm pretty sure Team 10 has had the most cops showed up at their house than any other YouTuber in the entire world.
Yeah, but weren't some of those like fake? Like some actors as well. Some of the cops actors.
Dude, I have no idea, but if they were, damn, they were pretty good. But still, though, if you think about having cops show up at your house,
but isn't like I'm pretty sure like faking to be an officer. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Yeah, it's definitely illegal.
It's impersonating a law enforcement officer, which is impersonating an LEO, which is illegal. But if you think about it, though, like the neighbors, yeah, they've had it hard because wasn't there this whole like news thing on it?
He climbed on top of a media van or something like that.
Yeah,
news van.
And he continues to harass his neighbors and all, which if you think about it is crazy. He doesn't know when to stop, and that's his problem.
Like one of the causes like all this like torment for the neighbors is when they supposedly leaked the address to the Team 10 house. Don't know how that happened. Like I don't know if they wanted to make something out of it. They wanted to make a speculation out of themselves or something like that, but I really don't know.
Maybe they just wanted him gone, if you think about it.
No, like maybe. That is
because if you think about it, like what better way to kick someone out who's causing a huge nuisance than to.
But that seems kind of like counterintuitive though. Like the reason that the neighbors kind of don't like him is because all the fans show up at the house. That's why I don't think they wanted the address to be out there or public knowledge.
Yeah, because then it puts their own safety at risk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well. Though it's the entirety of Jake Paul is just stupid. It's considering the amount of. Can you imagine how many complaints are submitted to the police department like every single week?
I'm sure it's horrible. That like including. Remember the doxing of Post Malone?
Yep.
That was a huge thing, and like kind of revealing like some of the addresses to the neighbors, kind of like recording their conversations without them knowing. Like I think that's probably
which is illegal.
Definitely illegal in LA.
Yeah, and like because the recording laws are different for every single state. Yeah. Some states allow you to record if you feel like you're being threatened. But they allow you to record audio, but not faces or anything like that. Yeah. But in LA, that's definitely illegal to record a conversation without the person's acknowledgement and without their approval, which could actually get him put in prison for years if the neighbors decide to press charges against them for it.
Yeah. And another thing to kind of bring up like the illegal stuff going on. Remember when they lit the pool on fire?
That was stupid. I don't know what they were planning on doing, but still that was they lit a mattress on fire. Didn't they set the countertop on fire as well?
Yeah, but like I think the worst thing about lighting the pool on fire, it's illegal to have fireworks in LA, right? There's a very good reason. You know how dry it is up in like the hills of LA?
It's an extreme drought.
Yeah,
they always have a problem with drought.
They could have started a fire. I'm just being real.
They could have started more than a fire. Lighting a fire in LA without approval from the city or state is actually, I believe it's a felony actually.
Yeah, fun.
To do so. Doing while there's a drought in season, like the dry season, I believe it's a felony in LA.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, but still though, it is extremely illegal because people need that water.
Yeah. Okay.
Like even watering your plants in LA during there's a drought, you're only allowed to use a little bit of water, not a lot.
Mr. Legal Boy over here. Being real.
Did we summon a lawyer by accident?
People say I should become a lawyer.
Yeah, no.
Or like an accountant.
I don't think you'd be good for it. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe a cop.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on from that. The situation of Team 10 members leaving, the Martinez twins situation, they were claiming... No, the Martinez twins, they claimed that Jake and like Team 10
was
bullying them. Yeah, definitely. And I don't think And like same thing with like Tessa Brooks or Chance Sutton, or I think Nick Crompton, he said it was because the dad, Greg Paul, he was kind of trying to take charge of everything, like between the Team 10 business and like the Maverick business with like Logan Paul. So
yeah,
he was trying to do like a merger, and he basically fired a lot of people that Nick hired, and that's why Nick was like up and leaving.
Yeah, to be honest, I kind of agree with the twins saying that believing that they were bullied.
Yeah, but
because
I would honestly have to disagree with like all the people leaving saying because Jake was a bad person, because like it doesn't make sense. Like, why would they?
Jake was more than a bad person. He was
no, but like why wouldn't they leave? Why wouldn't they like leave earlier? Like,
well, remember like there's a huge rumor that they were being paid. Like, Jake was paying them.
No, I think the rumor was they paid their way in.
Oh yeah, that's right. They paid their way in to be part of Team 10
because remember,
for like popularity and stuff like that.
Remember, 20% of their earnings was given to Team 10. I don't like people say it's going straight to Jake. I would disagree. It's definitely not going straight to Jake. It goes to the Team 10. It's a business, right?
It goes to the house because they're too poor to actually buy one.
I think later on, Nick Crompton made a perfect example. Like, you go to Starbucks and the person handing you coffee, you don't pay that person directly. It goes straight to the Starbucks, right?
Yeah, it goes straight to the owner.
Yeah, well, no, the company. Yeah.
Well, no, it depends on because it's corporate and then there's it'll go to the owner, to the owner or acting management, and they will decide what to do with it.
That's still my point exactly. Yeah. Like I think that's like a misconception, like people saying it goes straight to Jake Paul. Like that makes
probably go straight to his dad or something.
I'd say it goes straight to the business. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Everyone has an opinion.
Yeah, you're right. That's what.
My opinion is that's like
Snipes,
going
to the
entire house.
I mean, if it really is true that they're paying to get onto it, then it'll explain why they're able to do such expensive things like own a team house and to do all these pranks simultaneously all the time.
Well, that's because they're repping all that merch. Link in bio.
They're repping all that butch, and they have a lot of little kids like watching. Merch. Yeah, they have a lot of little kids watching their videos because of clickbait titles and thumbnails.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's kind of like what you have to do from now on YouTube. I'm gonna be
real. Yeah, but still though, like clickbaiting is goes against YouTube. It goes against the YouTube.
Like
YouTube do anything about it?
Inaccurate metadata or whatever, but like.
Yeah, because it tricks the search engine.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's not
that was basically everything with the mind of Jake Paul. That was the first episode. Now, I think this is probably the most controversial episode, this next one, the dark side of Jake Paul, which is basically, is he a sociopath?
Yes.
I would say no.
I would say no, too.
I would say yes, because considering in a lot of his videos, and I used to watch him a long time ago, but in a lot of his videos, he goes way over the top with too many things.
Yeah, but isn't
that's just the thing with the post. Think about the videos. Whenever you do a YouTube video, don't you change your way a little bit so that way you can be professional and everything?
Well, yeah, but I don't go over the top. Like,
yes,
like, if you think about it,
but the question is, does he know where the line is? does he know where the line is drawn?
Apparently not, because he set his pool on fire. I don't think that shows someone who knows
but
that there's a line.
But that doesn't make him a sociopath.
No, that just makes someone who's ignorant.
Sociopath is like just someone, like, by definition, I think. Don't correct me.
Someone who's disconnected. Someone who is disconnected from reality.
Yeah, they
doesn't
don't have emotions.
More than that.
Like, I'm pretty sure he has emotions. Hopefully, otherwise it's just sick what he does then.
My opinion is just that he is a sociopath because a lot of his pranks and a lot of stuff that he's done is just doesn't seem right. I mean, from having like his neighbors hate him, obviously.
Yeah.
For harassment, stuff like that, and also being a complete dick to them. He also is complete dick to everyone else on Team 10 as well.
Maybe he doesn't know what's right from wrong.
Yeah,
that's a sociopath.
That's not necessarily a sociopath.
So if you're saying, Post, that if I was raised in a way where I just didn't know what was right from wrong, my parents never taught me that, I'll be a sociopath.
Pretty much. Because if you cannot identify right from wrong, then it's sociopath right there. Because you need to be able to identify that. Because what that would do is, think about it, you'd never know the difference. You'd always do something right or wrong, no matter what. You won't know which to choose from. And most people would probably do the wrong way, and it's just not right. I mean, considering what was it that he did in one video? Didn't he have a lion or something at one video?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I think
that
I would say that's stupid, but it might, in my opinion, I don't think it's like I wouldn't point him as a sociopath for that. Like,
my question is, where did he get the lion?
that's the ultimate question behind all this right now.
There are people who own lions as pets, so
but that's illegal. But that's like pretty much illegal to own an endangered pet.
Okay, well,
lions are technically endangered.
Okay, so let's actually get to the correct definition of sociopath. Definition of sociopath includes a lot of things. You feel like the law does not apply to you. You feel like you're better than everyone. You try to mimic like best behaviors. You want to learn emotional responses to kind of mimic that and use it to your advantage. You try to make people feel bad for you. You manipulate, basically.
Yeah, that's Jake Paul, right?
But would you say he manipulates you to make you feel bad for him?
Well, he doesn't. Well, manipulation can work for different people. It affects some people, but it doesn't affect everyone. So, I could try and manipulate. For Shell Shock, for example.
Yeah.
For the game that we just played, I managed to manipulate you to get to Snipes. But Snipes decided to not be manipulated, and he decided to go for me.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
So manipulation doesn't.
So
work
are you a sociopath?
It works. No, I manipulated you guys because you guys targeted me and I was almost dead. But anyway, the manipulation can work for different people. It affects different people in certain ways. So if I was to stand up in the middle of a classroom and try and manipulate people to do something, around only 30 to probably 48% would actually be manipulated to do something.
Okay.
But the others won't, you see. So it doesn't affect everyone. It just depends on how you do it and who you are trying to manipulate.
All right. So this is a statistic that they gave in this episode that that Katie gave in the episode. She said that there are 1 in 25 people that are sociopaths. Do you agree with that? Like, think about how big that is. Like,
1 in 25. There's kind of like 8 billion people on the planet.
Just like here to kind of, let's not think about like in a broad view. Like, narrow it down. Like, that's one person in your classroom is a sociopath. Would you believe that?
To be honest, no. I wouldn't believe that, because if 1 in every 25 people were a sociopath, our society would pretty much destroy itself, because there would be multiple people who won't know the difference between right and wrong, or would think they're better than everyone else.
But the correct definition of it is not sociopath, it's like anti-personality disorder. That's the correct definition. But technically, it doesn't have to be like completely honed in. Like, you don't have to be a complete sociopath or complete whatever to have anti-personality disorder.
Yeah, I know, but Sidlow, I don't believe with that, because I don't believe that. Because if you think about it, if you were to go into a classroom, people are just trying to get through the day, and like people do interact, and some people do believe they're better than other people, but they're only doing that because it makes them feel better. And also, sooner or later, they'll realize I'm not better than everyone else, and I just destroyed my entire life.
All right. What about you, Snipes?
Like Jake Paul's doing.
I mean, I don't think it's right because why would there? That's just too big of a number.
All right.
That's too many people.
Yeah, but
to be.
Would you say? Okay, so this kind of segues into the next part, the next episode. This is something that Logan Paul brought up. The idea of spectrum, like a sort of spectrum for sociopath, like a sociopathic tendencies. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
they have properties of being a sociopath or having anti-personality disorder. Would you say that statistic would still apply?
Well, again, it really depends on who exactly you're talking about, because people can be affected in different ways.
Oh, I'm not talking about who's affected, who has it, like who has like a property of being or having anti-personality disorder.
Well, luckily,
what you can counter what I said though is that there's different levels of it.
Yeah.
ADHD is a good example. There's different levels of it. There's people who can have it but are good at working with it, and there's people who are just flat out terrible with it and just can't handle it.
Haven't honed in the skills yet to kind of manipulate. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And also because nowadays with modern medicine, modern medicine is a wonder weapon nowadays. I mean, it could actually help with anti-personality disorder as well as being a sociopath in rare cases. But still, though, like Snipes said, there are people who can deal with it in different ways. Actually, no, anti-personality disorder. They actually have medication for it.
Yeah, but I think you're thinking of psychopath because that's like psychopath is you physically have it. Like sociopath is when you're like kind of raised to think that way. Psychopath, you're born with that idea of anti-personality disorder. So
yeah,
there's a difference.
Yeah, I know the difference, but there's medication for both sociopath and being a psychopath.
Okay, so including that like Logan Paul thing. That was after like the reaction like, oh, you a sociopath? No, you a sociopath. That was kind of like his reaction to the whole series.
Yeah,
it was kind of funny.
Speaking of Logan Paul, something completely unrelated. Yeah. I'm publishing my video of Shell Shock, and under the related tags is Logan Paul.
Why?
I don't know, but
manipulation
I'm not
at its finest. Okay. Because he got hit with that bombshell of Suicide Forest. I'm kidding. Okay.
I have a joke to tell, but I'm not going to tell it.
All right. Well, that's kind of like the perfect segue into episode 3, the family of Jake Paul.
Oh, don't get me started on his family, please.
All right. Who do you want to talk about first? The mom or the dad or the brother?
The dad.
The dad?
Might as well go for the dad.
All right. Let's talk about the dad first. Okay. So the way that they were raised, if you saw like the Draw My Life, Jake Paul Draw My Life, it was just that they were raised to be competitive, right? To not like show emotion. Their dad was like a football coach or whatever, or something like that. Or he served in I forget. Did he serve in the army or was he a football coach?
I don't think he served in the army.
I think he did, honestly. Or he served in some armed forces, but I don't remember what.
Probably the reserves or something.
Probably. But he's not like a retailer or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. He pushes them to be competitive. He kind of tries to he's trying to take control of like their lives, sort of. I think maybe not. Maybe he's just kind of trying to get everything squared away after like a few situations with the Logan Paul versus KSI fight and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of you've seen like a few controversies that he's come up in recently, right?
Yeah.
That I don't want to get into because it's a bit more personal and yeah. And it kind of stands away from what we're trying to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Snipes, what do you think?
I mean, how someone is raised is greatly dependent on what their parents do. If their parents raise them correctly, then they will be able to work and function in society. If they're not raised correctly, then they can have problems and society could cast them out.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's like the perfect definition of like parenting. Okay, so that's the dad. What about the mom? Well, the mom is just like she's trying to like emulate onto them like some good personalities, but they kind of grown away. If that makes sense.
I think the mom is actually trying to be a good person, trying to show him, the right path to go down.
The intro to the vlog, Mom. Oh man, that was funny.
Yeah, but it's like the mom is actually trying to get them on the right path, in my opinion. Yeah. She's really trying to, but they've just grown so far away.
Are you a part of the family?
No.
All right.
But so they're like they've just grown so far away, and they've also grown, against, and they're too old to be able to learn how, but their mom's still trying to teach them.
Yeah.
Which is something that I think is great because mom would always stick up for her kids.
I don't want to get too deep into it because it's like this is definitely like more personal stuff, and I respect anything that's personal to anyone, even if it's like someone who's like very controversial. Like I still respect their personal lives. Yeah. But it's definitely tied into like the way they act, like no doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely.
The brother, Logan Paul, we all know who he is. About 10 months ago. About 10 months ago, 9 or 10 months ago, we all remember what happened then.
Yep. Yeah, let's just say he was received, I think, the most hate a YouTuber has ever received.
Yeah, but the thing is, he got away with it.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
That's something that I really hated.
Yeah.
Gets away with it. Just like, oh yeah, I'm Logan Paul. I can get away with anything.
In fact, his YouTube Red series is now coming back. The Thinning, I think. Is that what it's called? The Thinning? Yeah, maybe. It is. Yeah, he's now getting his like YouTube Red series back after all that. So yeah, he's fully gotten away with it.
And what does that show to other YouTubers and other people who thought about
Especially Jake, like it kind of shows that he has the power to get away with basically anything. Cuz like that Suicide Forest video is like the next level of like everything. If you think about it. Yeah. And like that kind of just like shows their whole relation, honestly. Like they're competitive. They try to one up each other every single time. Do they actually, is that like their relation? Do they care about like one upping each other, or do they genuinely hate each other so much that they want to do that?
Again, it really just depends on what they have been taught and what they're trying to do in their life. I mean, they all to me it looks like they're trying to one up each other all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is like, why?
Yeah.
And why do that?
All right. Well, now those are like the first 3 episodes. Those are like probably the more sensitive topics. Take a little bit of a breather right now. We all enjoying our day today?
No, not anymore, because I just uploaded Shell Shock, and for some reason the screen is small. No, the screen is small for some reason.
That happened in your Space Engineers episode as well.
What?
Yeah, if you didn't.
How are you guys being monetized?
Heck.
No, we're not being monetized. What are you talking about?
Okay, I was like, how are you guys being monetized? I'm not being monetized.
I'm not monetized right now.
Yeah, let me review this. What happened?
No, well. Let's continue now. Let's not worry about it.
Yeah. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to fix it. Don't worry.
Alright. 4th episode, The Enemies of Jake Paul. This is the interview with Nick Crumpton, kind of clearing everything up. This episode basically proved that the pranks are fake. So it kind of cleared up everything with like the Martinez twin situation. The thing about the Martinez twins, they knew every single prank that was coming to them. Like they kind of saying like these pranks, they proved that Jake was bullying us, but they knew these pranks were gonna happen. They knew that they were gonna lose their room. Like, you know how their room got destroyed?
Yep.
And they acted like they did not know. They knew it was gonna happen, but they're acting like they didn't. So it kind of puts like a whole new light on that entire situation.
Yeah, it could just be.
I'm saying it's like a sort of like a stunt to kind of like
try to get views.
Tarnish Jake's name and try to get views or try to make something out of it.
Yeah.
So that was proven in this episode. Nick has also proven that no one in Team 10 is cast or pays their way in. They are actually chosen to Jake because Jake sees something in them. Apparently, he sees something like potential, and that makes sense, kind of.
Yeah, it could just be that
He sounded pretty truthful in this episode. Like, remember, Nick was the guy who kind of basically managed Team 10 from the very beginning. So it makes sense if he knew everything's happening.
Yeah.
And yeah. So what would you make of that now?
I'm gonna let Snipes go first this time because I keep going first all the time. So
Yeah,
Snipes,
go ahead.
I mean, when you're in a team, they usually do coordinate, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And if the pranks weren't real and they were faked, then in the aspect that it was a big overreaction, it could have been them reacting to make the prank seem even more real.
Yeah, like over dramatized.
Yeah,
and like,
but there's a point where you just don't go too far.
The issue with that as well, they can't rebuttal against like the whole Martinez twin situation because if even Nick said like if they were to say like the pranks were fake, they kind of lose their audience of like.
They'd say one prank is fake. Or one prank is fake, then how many pranks would people think, oh, the other pranks are fake too?
Yeah.
And then you kind of lose that aspect of what you're trying to do.
I mean, same with Snipes. I mean, yeah, like acknowledging that a lot of videos are fake could destroy not only Jake's reputation for his funny yet weird and disgusting pranks that in my opinion go over the top, but also would destroy everyone else's reputation.
It basically ruins the entire company.
Not just the entire company, but their lives, because then who's gonna like if it does destroy their YouTube careers and or like whatever careers they're trying to go for, and then they're trying to get a job later on after that happens, who's going to hire them for doing fake stuff?
That just kind of proves like they couldn't really defend themselves in that entire situation. So that's kind of like what made the Martinez situation so believable, yet it was still fake.
Yeah.
So it's just like a vicious loop of like we can't do this because this will happen, or if we do this won't happen. It's horrible. Let's see here. He included like the leaking of the Team 10 house address. Like that was not on purpose. They explained that was definitely not on purpose. I think what Nick had said, it was like one of the employees were trying to set up like a Google page for the business and they accidentally included the address. It was just a complete accident. Like they weren't trying to make something out of it. They weren't trying to make like they weren't trying to make a spectacle basically.
Yeah.
So that kind of escalated into like the neighbor situation. Like neighbors complaining about like all these fans out here just kind of creating a nuisance.
Yeah.
And there's nothing they could have done.
Well, could have called the cops for creating a noise.
Yeah, but the issue with that kind of remember, there's also like the paparazzi as well. Like everything they do is being recorded. Like anything they do, it will just make them look like an ass, really.
Well, I think a lot of people have realized that Jake is the real ass and not the neighbors. So I'm pretty sure if the neighbors would have called the cops on the fans, which a lot of YouTubers have done that before, when when they received fans outside their doors.
Yeah, I'm just kind of defending them, like Jake and the team. Like they couldn't really do anything to settle that. Like they had nothing they could do, and that's just kind of what made it horrible. Because, like I said, if they called the cops on the fans, then the fans would see them in a new light, and they'd probably not respect them anymore. But otherwise, if they encourage it, then it kind of leads to the neighbors kind of losing respect for them. So it's kind of like they have to keep this balance, and it's just horrible.
They got to keep more than a balance as well, because think about it this way: fans knowing where they are could cause problems, not just for them, but for the neighbors' safety as well.
Yeah.
Because if the fans believe that the neighbors are being dicks, fans could assault the neighbors. They could set the houses on fire. They could do a lot of other stuff that could result in the neighbors,
thank God,
or even kids. Like, who knows? We don't know if there's little kids living in the neighborhood.
Yeah, thank God none of that happened, and they moved to a different house now.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that is good, because think about it this way: because if someone was to get injured because of
they could be held liable.
Stuff, the fans could, and also Jake, and his team.
Yeah, so and none of that was on purpose. They never leaked it on purpose. It was all just a big mistake.
Yeah.
Let's talk about we also talked about Greg Paul managing his way to get into a managing position. That's kind of what sent Nick to leave Team 10. That's why he left, because all the people he hired just got fired, basically, just for new budgeting reasons or whatever. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Essentially, that's what happened. Because if you think about it now,
doing a merger, right?
Yeah, doing a merger, in some cases is good, in bad cases, in a lot of cases and in my opinion, they kind of destroyed. Well, in my opinion, he kind of destroyed it by doing that. So
yeah. So, and I think one thing that Nick also brought up was excommunication of members. When a member leaves Team 10, they're excommunicated. But the reason the team kind of feels like this is just the sad thing. Their mentality was we're a family, right? So
yeah,
we're held strong together. But if you leave, then you must not like us, and you can just fuck right off then.
Yeah.
So that's horrible, but that's just the sad truth about that team.
Yeah. Not just with that, but also because the entire team really isn't liked that much by the community.
No.
That much, if you think about it. So I think in a way, when someone does leave, and all the community kind of likes them and respects them more because they realize that this person just left the team, and all. So I think in a way it also kind of helps them with the community liking them more when they do leave.
Mm-hmm.
So could cause some help with them.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I think Nick also said that the relationship between Jake and Erica was very much real. That's not casted at all. Just like the Team 10 members not being casted and not bribing their way into the team. So that's good, at least.
Yeah.
And finally, I think he talked about the Logan Paul and Alyssa Violet hooking up.
Yeah.
That was kind of Jake's claim of saying that she cheated on him. And he explained that was very much real. Them hooking up, that was real. That wasn't for a publicity stunt to get views or whatever, just kind of one up Jake. That was very much real.
Yeah.
That's horrible that happened.
Yeah.
Snipes.
A lot of real events kind of seem super fake because a lot of the content is fake. And also, if you think about it, it's kind of why would I?
That's the content itself, the YouTube content, but but the controversies are very much real, which is horrible. Snipes, you got anything?
No, I'm in agreement with you guys mostly.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Okay. So yeah, there was a lot of information that was cleared up in the Enemies of Jake Paul with Nick Crompton. Thank God. He basically knew everything that was going on with the team, which is great. The world of Jake Paul. This is basically Shane just seeing what a day in the life of Jake Paul is. This is the first episode where Jake was actually in the video, and it was pretty entertaining, honly, in my opinion. If you haven't seen
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
You should definitely take a look into it.
Yeah.
It proves that it definitely proves that Jake and Erica are real. Like, that's a real thing. And it basically disproves the whole sociopath thing as well, because Katie, the person Shane was interviewing about, like, the sociopath and whatnot.
Yeah.
She was there the whole time, but, like, kind of pretending to be the producer. So she analyzed Jake, see if everything was, like, real, and he acts like a real person. He's not a sociopath, and she proves that. She says, she confirms, like, he's not a sociopath at all. Would you say he's still a sociopath even after, like, a psychiatrist, like, says no, he's not?
I would still have to say he's a sociopath, considering a lot of the stuff he's done in his videos doesn't really show any restraint.
Fair enough, but, like, I think we're gonna get into like some of the reasons why he doesn't show restraint later on.
Yeah,
and
because, like, if you do think about it, though, I'm sorry to interrupt, but psychiatrists can be wrong. I mean, I had a psychiatrist years ago who said I had that I suffered from being bipolar, but I've never had any symptoms of being bipolar, so that's false. So psychiatrists can be wrong. So even if a psychiatrist says that he's not a sociopath, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that the psychiatrist is correct or wrong. So, because they've been psychiatrists can be wrong, because we're all human, we all make mistakes.
I would have to say she's right. Like, you're right about, like, saying she could be wrong, especially since her field is, like, eating disorders, apparently.
Yeah.
Which
so I don't think is good.
Yeah, but she was a friend of Shane, so it seemed fair, honestly.
Yeah.
And she seemed right on the money with, like, everything about, like, what a sociopath is. So I would have to agree with her that she's right. Like, I would say he's definitely not a sociopath. Especially, you definitely have to watch the video to see that he's not, for sure. Like, you got to see the real in him, like, because he portrays himself in videos as, like, a character almost. Which is like a lot of people. Like, good example, Rice Gum. He says he's just a character, right? And that's how he portrays himself. But, like, in his real life, it's, like, just kind of normal. Yeah. So that was the world of Jake Paul. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Entertaining.
Haven't sent it.
Yeah, you still got to look at it. So at this point, I know everything. You two don't.
Yeah.
So, just like your.
We could do this in two parts if you think about it. We can do the first part being, doing the research, and then the second part we can be actually talking about it.
How far are we into this right now?
About
45 minutes in.
About 45 minutes, yeah. Because we don't need to make this an hour long. We don't need to talk about everything. We could do it in two parts. Like, the first part talking about, like, what we believe in the research.
Yeah, because, like, everything, like, everything from now on is kind of, like, just kind of proving everything, like, just kind of explaining everything. Because I'm going to say right now, there are explanations for, like, his impulsiveness. Like, you talked about that, like, you're saying it's still pretty impulsive. There's an explanation for that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's a pretty obvious reason that, like, no one's really looked into that hard.
Yeah.
But if you take the time to think about it, it makes sense. Like, everything starts to fall into place. But yeah, we can definitely do a second part because I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it too. And also, we can, like, we don't just have to do Jake Paul. Like, who knows? Next we could do, like, Logan Paul, or if the viewers.
The real reason I'm doing this is because, like, Shane Dawson did the series on it. Like, that's the only reason I'm kind of doing this, because it was entertaining. Yeah. Like, so I okay. Final thoughts though. How would you agree with Shane for doing this? Like, would you say he's doing the right thing?
I would say, yeah, he's doing the right thing. I mean, he does have a large follower base on, like, doing things like this, with other, like, celebrities or other YouTubers.
Yeah, like the Jeffree Star or Tana Mojo.
Yeah, and I think that, in my opinion, that he's doing the right thing by doing this, because he could clear up a lot of things about Jake Paul, or also he could show things that are wrong with him at the same time.
And tell him to fix it.
Yeah, and help him to fix it, because that's what Shane has done before. He's helped people fix their problems. And on top of that, he got a huge slap in the face from his follower base because of doing this.
Like, afterwards, if you look at it afterwards, it's still, like, he gets reconciled for it. Like,
yeah,
everyone agrees with him now. Like, even a lot of people, there's still going to be, like, the people who are like, no, you should not have done this at all in the first place.
Yeah, because
But
Because the very first video has 40,000 dislikes.
Yeah, you're right.
For the entire playlist. That is like, I've never seen somebody.
He was taking a big hit. He was taking a big risk with this one, but I think he took the right way.
Yeah. He decided to do something that no other YouTuber has done before. So
yeah.
And I think in reality, Shane has gained.
What
is that? He's doing this, but he can also be wrong. He can have misinformation.
Oh, yeah.
He can have
no doubt.
Yeah, but still, though, he's taking a risk by doing this, though, and also I think he's probably gained a huge, a lot of followers by doing this.
Especially since the last video got #1 on trending.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. See, like that just proves my point. It's good. He took the right way. We'll just get into like how it went on in like the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, final thoughts?
No, not that really.
Snipes.
I just feel like the way he acts might be a misunderstanding because people do put on characters. I've seen many examples of people putting on characters for YouTube.
Yeah.
Not everybody's the way they seem. Some people may seem very nice but be really mean, or some people may be really mean but be very nice.
You mean like you guys are nice to me, but in recording sessions you guys are assholes.
You're right.
Reference to shell shock?
Nah.
But still, like, yeah, a lot of people do have characters. I mean, from what I hear, a lot of people on, Vanos and his friends, a lot of them do have characters. But characters in the sense of like good characters, like they're not actually bad people, but they change their personality when they record.
Yeah, I would say I would have to agree with Snipes on this one. I would say Jake Paul is misunderstood, like all the way through. Like you'll definitely see it You'll definitely see it in a new light when you watch like the rest of it for sure.
Yeah,
like I see where you're coming from. Like fuck Jake Paul and all that stuff. He did all this stupid shit. He's a horrible person. But like if you examine why he did it. Not like if you don't look at what he did, look at why he did it, and then you'll understand that he's definitely misunderstood.
Yeah,
and that's what the whole series is about, really. And I'm happy that it's come through. Like it's done so well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna wrap up TalkTube. Hope you all enjoyed
part 1.
Part 1 of many parts to come.
Many parts and many episodes and of series and
we should definitely
trilogies to come.
Yeah, who wants to take the next topic for next time we do this?
I guess I might try.
All right.
Yeah, let's Snipes try, and then I'll take the one after that.
We'll rotate.
Yeah.
What topic am I gonna do though? It's a question.
That's for you to figure out.
That's for you to figure out. You're the one who's going to be in charge of the topic. So I guess next part Snipes is leading.
Yep.
So
we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.